Hey guys, welcome to On the Beat weekly podcast. On the Beat is all about giving young people a voice. We explore all the interesting topics that affect us in the world today. So come, listen, enjoy, and be inspired.
On the beat, on the beat.
Welcome back to On the Beat podcast. My name is Brandon, this is Alexia, and today we'll be talking about sport. Now, recently in sport, there was a lot of going on. We had the Olympics just concluded, we have the leagues opening back, and we also have Messi transferring into PSG, as well as some other players.
A lot of things happening.
And lots of things. It's a lot of good things.
So the first thing we want to get through is this thing with Messi, this situation.
Of course.
Which I don't fully comprehend. And, it's best we bring on somebody to discuss this with us. So we like to bring on Brent Balfour to talk about this situation with us.
What's up?
Afternoon. So Brent, this Messi PSG situation, what is your take?
Well, hi guys, once again. The Messi situation is really a messy situation, right? And last week, it happened so quickly that Laporte, which is the president of Barcelona, recognized that they couldn't pull off the deal with Messi, and they decided that they couldn't afford him. And through a press conference, they announced that Messi is leaving the club. Messi was really saddened by the situation because there's nothing could have been done. And then fast forward, he had a press conference of himself leaving the club on Sunday gone, and how that was his childhood club, and he have been there for about 21 years or something like that. And then soon after, PSG was the only club that could afford him. So therefore, he went PSG, and watch me right now, France gain a superhero per se, right? And the Spain lost a big legend. They lost a big legend, not just Barcelona, but Spain lost a big legend.
Yeah, absolutely right. So we have a few questions to you, and the first one is Messi and Neymar. They are in the same club again after how many years? So do you think that playing on the same team once again will bring that spark again?
Well, they have always been close friends, and even in the Copa America, that's played last month or 2 months ago between Argentina and Brazil, which Argentina ended up winning. You could see the hugs and long conversations both of them had, and they didn't even know that they were going to get to play together. But now that they are together, it's like a dream come true, because Neymar tried to go back to Barcelona a couple of years ago. So now all those things are going to flow. I guess that teammate aspect and that friendship aspect, I think it will have a big part to play in. Is Mbappe I'm more worried about, and hopefully he could get along with Messi and Neymar, and that front three is really
A powerful trio.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So one other thing as well, we know that Messi is not the only one transferred to PSG. There's also Sergio Ramos. So Ramos and Messi, do you think that they will bring the same kind of dynamic they had in the 2019, where they were constantly button heads, they were arguing on the pitch, there were words thrown left and right? Or do you think that they will mold PSG into one of the strongest clubs in Paris?
Both of them have strong mentalities, winning mentalities. So they were enemies, and now they have to become friends. And I believe, yes, they should propel PSG to victories, And right now, PSG have the strongest squad in the world, so I can't see anyone who is going to beat them, especially with those strong personalities in the club, which is like Ramos and Messi, who just love to win. So I think it will work out well eventually.
Thank you, Brent.
It
Thank you.
could also be a problem, but you never know.
Yes, we never know. All right, guys.
Okay, Brent. Thanks for your
Yeah, Brent.
insight.
All right.
Anyways, beside the Messi situation, you was talking about the leagues, right? And how it was going to open up. What exactly we was going to discuss about that?
So with the league's opening, it's obvious that Messi transferred from Barcelona to PSG. So that would have brought some kind of dynamic in the team itself, in Barcelona. And of course, Barcelona belongs to La Liga. And in La Liga, we all know Barcelona is a giant. They are one of the giants, one of the founding fathers. They are one of the teams that are highly supported. So now that their most valuable player, I would say arguably, is gone, they might not be the same giants that we knew 20 years ago.
True.
So
that might be so. They might not be the same people the same kind of athletes that we are accustomed to.
Exactly. Because they were there for a long time. And now that one person is gone, that one person who was like the glue for the entire team, they transfer out. There's always the opportunity for a smaller club that was often overlooked to rise to the top now. Because not only Barcelona suffered a loss, but Real Madrid as well. They lost Ramos, their captain.
Right.
So the two giants who was seeming to go head to head. The captains, the two captains are the largest teams in Europe.
Right.
Not there anymore. So now that just gives the opportunity for a younger club, a club that's lesser known, to rise straight to the top.
That's true. So with that happening, you think the younger club would be a more prominent team? They wouldn't be like giants, they'd be like beasts.
The underdogs, if you would say so. Yes. So often they would have been like, oh well, I'm just gonna call a random club, Atletico Madrid. Let's just say they were always like in the top 3 or the top 4. They have a chance to rise to the top of the league, to top the entire league. So I believe that's what's going to happen. One team that's the underdog, who was often overlooked, will rise to the top and become the new favorite of Europe.
I could see that happening, yeah, for sure.
And not only in La Liga, but also in the Bundesliga and Serie A and all these other leagues, there will be a definite shift in the amount of people.
For sure.
And speaking on that as well, I believe that tensions will skyrocket because everyone from the managers to the players will feel that shift. They will feel like a spot is missing. Yes, there will be somebody filling it, but they will never fill the shoes of those players.
Correct. There'll be some high tension. Well, I guess we just have to wait until it gets into its groove of things for us to more understand and see how the players react as well as the people associated with them.
Exactly.
The main thing that I have prepared whole days for, right? This Olympics discussion.
Of course. We can't forget the Olympics. So as we know, the Olympics recently closed. And we realized that it wasn't the traditional Olympics where it was a few young people here, there, and everywhere. But now a large percentage of the Olympics is young people.
That is true. I noticed that. When I watched through the little bit that I watched through, I noticed that it had a lot of young people impacting in the Olympics this year. Kudos to them.
Extreme kudos.
Yeah.
Couldn't dream of that kind of pressure.
I myself, speaking of pressure, it had one of these these athletes. She's a tennis player. Her name is Naomi Osaka.
Mhm.
And she says that she suffers with mental health because, like, public appearances and being in the public eye, it's a struggle now. It's something that she didn't quite expect as much as she growing into her role as a great Olympic athlete. She didn't expect all that attention, and she wasn't prepared for that. So I wondering, you think it have any other Olympic athletes who does feel like her?
Oh, most
Because-
definitely. Most definitely.
Yeah.
Young people today, well, from what I believe, we like to suppress our emotions. We like to hide it and say, put on a brave face and
Agreed.
say, no, nothing's wrong. But really and truly, like, everything is wrong, I should say.
Agreed.
So I would say there are Olympians that feel the same as Naomi, but they just haven't spoken about it yet. I hope that with Naomi's speech that they actually find the courage to come out and say, yes, I struggled with this as well. If they did, but if they didn't, that would be amazing. That means that, all right, well, I'm here for the long run.
Right.
I don't mind being in the public eye.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like she had a whole Netflix documentary. It's named Naomi Osaka, so you can check that out too to like learn more about her. When I saw it, I was like, wow. You
Okay.
really never know what's going on behind closed doors.
True, very true. And now I have a few questions which pertains to the Olympics and young people. So as we saw that more and more young people are being introduced into the Olympics, not Junior Olympics, but Olympics, especially in this 2021. What do you think that a large percentage will under the age of 20?
What I think about that?
Yeah, what do you think about it?
I find it's quite encouraging and inspirational because being someone who is under the age of 20, I find like it says that you could do anything at any age. Age doesn't limit what you could do. You know what I mean? So that is something that I like about the Olympics not being in a small box, but it's diverse in
True.
age and
True.
skill. Yeah.
And we saw a little bit of that diversity in the skateboarding finals, I believe, for women, because there was a 12-year-old Syrian who
Yes, I saw that.
I think who did well, extremely well, I think it was. I can't remember the exact place she came, but I know for 12 years old, that was very impressive to be representing your country in the Olympics.
Mm-hmm. Like she just came out and did her thing, and I commend her for that. She did pretty well, and I believe she's the youngest athlete in this year's Olympics.
She
as well.
was, and she was the youngest Syrian to ever represent Syria in the Olympics, the youngest in history.
Imagine that.
Imagine that. At 12 years old, you already have an Olympics under your belt. You could walk out and say, yes, I represented the Olympics in the 2021 Tokyo finals.
That is so true. You already accomplished half your life goals.
True, very true. You already accomplished what people dream of accomplishing.
So true.
And speaking about youth, do you think that the Junior Olympics will make any sense in the future as more and more young people are entering the Olympics as full-blown Olympians?
I do believe it would make a difference because as we see from this year, a lot of young people came out into the Olympics, right? And this Junior Olympics could be a stepping stone for those people who want to be full out Olympians, right? So that could be like their first thing, their foundation, you could say. That could be like their foundation to becoming an official Olympic athlete who goes home with goals for their country, if that makes sense.
Yes, it does. And I believe I think it's the US that the women did extremely well. So let's talk a little about that. What exactly did the women do?
The women did really well. Like this year, 66 women went home with gold medals and only 41 men went. So this is a like a change in events, because like last year, I believe men had like 55 gold medals they went home with, and women were way less. So, well, not last year, last Olympics. So this difference is, it actually shocked me, because usually you see men dominated in sports and whatnot. So to see women doing as good as men or even better I love to see it.
Of course. We love to support our women. And
right. One thing I want to know though is like, what could we as youths take away from these Olympians? But personally, I would say they have taught me to pursue things that I never thought would have been within reach. So pursue different things that I would have always wanted to pursue. What about you? What do you think?
Well, personally, I think that you should persevere, because I am almost positive there was at least one person along their lives that said, you cannot be an Olympian, or you cannot do this, or you cannot do that. Look what they are now. They represented their country in the Olympics. And
carrying home gold.
And they carry home gold, they carry home silver, they carry home bronze, anything. So I believe that perseverance, that's what drives me.
I agree completely. I could see that happening, like persevering because of what we saw they did. So that's something I had always admired as well, the perseverance of Olympians. I agree completely.
The perseverance and the patience, because it's not every day you could wake up and say, all right, time to go to training, time to do this, time to water bath, whatever they had to do to prepare.
It's difficult work. It's difficult work. Yeah.
Very difficult.
You're training your mind and your body. That is something that have to cooperate as much as possible. It have to be in unison. So yeah, I agree completely.
All right, so that's it for the discussion today. Hope you come next week. Hope you tune in. And
for a new discussion.
A
whole new topic.
Whole new topic, whole new points. More than likely, whole new guests. So, you all have a great day.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to On The Beat podcast. Feel free to share, follow, and subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, Facebook, and Instagram. Stay blessed, everyone.